To most of the world, Johnny Knoxville is the guy that got shot with beanbags, got blown up out of 1,000,000 cannons, and got trampled by bulls more times than you can count. But what if I told you behind all of the slapstick, the stunts, the pranks, there was actually an actor with real depth that Hollywood just didn't know what to do with? Hi, I'm popeyJN. Welcome to Beyond the Screen. Today we're going to have a look at how Hollywood typecast Johnny Knoxville.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass!
In 2000, Jackass exploded onto MTV, broke every single ratings record you can think of for cable TV at the time, and established this anti-culture of skateboarding, pranks, stunts, all meshed together. And right at the center of it, you had Johnny Knoxville, the unofficial ringleader, the puppet master pulling all the strings. Knoxville was charismatic, fearless, and totally insane from what you could see on the show.
There's a rocket that came out the side. If it had been like right here, that'd have been a picture wrap on old Knoxville.
He became a poster child for this new type of comedy. It was part Evel Knievel meets Buster Keaton. It was something right out of a Tom and Jerry cartoon. And you, the audience, were just sat there going, what in the hell am I watching? But with the fame came a little bit of a stigma for Knoxville. He wasn't seen as an actor. He was seen as a daredevil, a prankster, a bit of a liability and a bit of a joke in the industry.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
You don't want to do that.
But Hollywood being Hollywood, when something works, they run it into the ground. So instead of letting Knoxville branch out and actually show off his dramatic acting chops and show what he is capable of doing as an actor, he was kind of pigeonholed to being this one-note character. He was cast kind of as a lovable idiot or just a side character whose entire reason for being in the movie or a TV show was to fall down, get hurt, and then smile through it. But if you look closely at Knoxville's filmography, sprinkled without, there are these little gems that show what he's truly capable of as an actor. Let's start with The Ringer.
You stopped off for ice cream.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
The Ringer centers around Knoxville playing a character who pretends to be intellectually disabled to get into the Special Olympics.
David told Jeffy not to talk about his pants around his ankles and the girl looking for her earring.
Now, on paper, that sounds like a horrendous story that is just going to offend people. But there's something about Knoxville's performance. You feel the warmth, you feel the humanity in the character, and you kind of start sympathizing for him because it never punches down on disability.
Father, I've been doing something bad. Really bad. I'm a terrible person.
In Grand Theft Parsons, Knoxville plays a more dramatic, melancholy kind of character. He's not being bombastic, trying to get the laughs. He is just there to be restrained. And you kind of start to wonder, why haven't I seen him in more roles like this?
Graham Parsons was the best friend I ever had and the greatest musician I ever saw. We loved it out here in Joshua Tree. We made a pact that whoever died first, the other would come out here and set his spirit free.
But the reality of it was Jackass was a big success, and Hollywood executives just go, well, whatever's successful, we're going to run that into the ground. That's always been the way that Hollywood works, always the way that it will. If something is successful, we run it into the ground, and then we'll do a couple of spin-offs. And once those spin-offs kind of start swirling, we'll start poking fun at the fact that we ran it into the ground. Even when Knoxville was cast in roles like Action Point or even the Dukes of Hazzard, it just relied so heavily on the stunts. The whole gimmick was, it's the guy from Jackass, he's doing his own stunts, there's multiple hospital trips, and it's going to make for some great behind-the-scenes stories. That's all executives were looking for. But even in those roles and with the stunts, Knoxville isn't just a daredevil. He's performing. He's got perfect comedic timing. He's got improvisational skills.
We seized the snake. Oh shit! We forgot about the other snake.
And he commits 150%.
Then you don't commit. If you go into a stunt and you don't commit, it's really going to be bad. You got to want to be there.
And unfortunately, underneath this typecasting, Knoxville kind of paid the price for it. There are countless interviews of him recounting concussions, sprained wrists, an eyeball popping out of its socket.
And I go back to my room, I had a little blood, and I blew my nose. And when I blew my nose, my eye popped out of my head. And so I had to put it back in and go back to the hospital.
And we kind of all cheered it on as the public. We were more than happy just to let this man be a crash test dummy than to give him the opportunity to grow and be a serious actor. If we combine Knoxville's charisma on screen with all the physicality, the timing, and the vulnerability that he can show, in another dimension, I could see him playing the same roles that Paul Dano or Sam Rockwell even played in little indie dramas. But unfortunately, we kind of just typecast him as the king of chaos. And it's a shame, because he really is an actor with a lot more depth and a lot more to offer. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Beyond the Screen. I'm interested to hear your thoughts about Johnny Knoxville. Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.